Yeah, what do you want?
Tell me more about the Mandalorian Wars.
We fought against the Republic forces for some time, over the course of many battles.
Yo.
At the start, they were not much of a threat to speak of. But once you had taken charge, things began to turn against us. The Republic fleets began to use more than just basic tactics. Feints, counterattacks, mass deceptions. You were a genius on the field. You are held in very high regard among my people. You abandoned worlds of their defenders so that others could be too fortified to strike. You made sacrifices in order to advance your goals. Such strategies had never been enough to best us before. In the end, you proved too much for us.
If I had not stopped you, someone else would have... what about the Sith? What about the Sith?
The Sith had gone, retreated into their empire. They sealed themselves off from the rest of the galaxy. We thought it would be centuries before they'd come back. It's amazing that they could rebuild their fleet so fast. But at the time, it looked like the galaxy was in our grasp. I still remember that final battle in the skies above Malachor 5. The two fleets filling the space around it, outshining the stars.
What happened?
It was not your ships, or your men, or your vaunted fight for freedom that won this, the final battle of the war. It was by the actions of one person, you, that the Republic prevailed. Your strategies and tactics defeated the best we could send against you. Even Mandalore himself was taken aback by the ferocity of your attacks, the tenacity of your defenses, and the subtleties of your plans. You fought us to a standstill, and then began pushing back. We really didn't have a chance.
Why not retreat, then?
It was what we had wanted all along, in a way. We wanted to fight the best, in a battle that would be remembered for centuries. And we did. And you won. I hold no grudge against you, nor do any of my people. It was the greatest of honors to fight against you, even in defeat. It is even more of an honor to fight beside you now. Had you been born of the Mandalorian clans, surely nothing in this galaxy would have been able to stop us. But wishing for the past to be different is useless. Better look to the future, as we should now. We'll talk more later, I think. Is there something else you want to know?
Nothing more for now.
Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
Okay. A new thing, what do we see? Seem to admire you greatly. Maybe he can tell you more later. Okay. HK.
Statement. HK-47 is ready to serve, Master.
So, you belonged to Revan originally?
Statement. Yes, Master. You created me shortly after you and your apprentice began your war to conquer the galaxy. I was sent on an assassination mission into Mandalorian space, but I was damaged and unable to return to you. Exclamation. I find this most distressing. I could certainly have protected you from the Jedi and your pupil's betrayal had I returned.
You find it distressing?
Statement. Of course, Master. You are the one who created me, meatbag or no, and while you may not be all you once were, I am grateful for my existence.
Am I very much like the Revan you knew?
Observation. You are different in many fundamental ways, Master. You have a concern for life that is unsettling. This cannot solely be caused by memory loss. I do not know how to explain it. Regardless, you do seem to be improved overall from the human I once knew.
What can you tell me about Malak?
Commentary. Your former pupil is efficient and brutal, even for an organic. I rather liked him when you first introduced me to him. If I had known what he would do to you, Master, I would have gladly removed his entrails right then.
Do you know anything about the Starforge?
Answer. No, Master. You never did make me privy to any of the Starforge's secrets.
Why the meatbag references? That'll be all, HK.
As you desire, Master. Signing off.
Right, okay, well, let's actually go and talk to Mission. So we'll have done this side. Yeah, let's talk to Mission.
Hey there, what can I do for you?
I want to talk to you about your brother.
I appreciate everything you've done for Griff. You know that, right? I just hope things work out for him this time around. I guess we'll find out when he meets up with us at the Zerka Corp shop. If he's got those credits he promised you, then maybe there's hope for him yet.
Okay.
Hey there, what can I do for you?
About me being Revan.
It seems to me that if you don't really remember anything about being Revan, then it doesn't really matter anymore. You are who you are now, right?
It doesn't bother you at all?
I don't see the Sith Lord standing here. I see a friend who's been with us through thick and thin. Remember, Malik's the one who tried to destroy Terrace.
Okay, so that's just recycling what she said before. Okay. It's kind of sad. I was hoping for some new stuff. Is there anyone else new around here? Not new, but could upgrade some weapons, possibly. No. No. And this is an empty room for the scene with Basta, I think. Okay, so let's talk to Tima and see what happens. Never mind. Actually, oh, I should be asking for stuff. Let's go back to mission and get those spikes. I don't know if we'll need them at this point.
Hey there, what can I do for you?
Spike.
Sorry, I don't have one handy right now. Besides, we've got plenty of security spikes already. Not much point in overloading on them, is there?
Okay. Point taken. Oh, maybe that's how it works. Like, after a while, it's just like, no, you've got enough. You don't need more. Tima? I assume you'll say the same thing, won't you, Tima? Frots. Oh, you can't make another one just yet. Got it. Yeah, I think the game just stops you from doing a massive thing. Stockpile on it. Zolbar. How do you feel about me being Revan? I mean, it's quite interesting is that different people do react differently to you. Like, Canderous, respects you for what you had done. Mission Zalbar respect you for what you are. Karth doesn't like you for what you had done, for what Revan had done. I don't know about Jahani, we'll find out. Is there anything else Zalbar says, though? So I do quite like that different people react differently. And it's not just in a positive kind of everyone likes you for different reasons. It's actually different people are basing it on different things, and so they have different reactions. I kind of like that. Anything more to say about yourself, Zalbar? Why did you request to take Baka's sword? I'm sorry, we can't stay on Kashyyyk longer. Okay, I wish you well. Let's get going. Is there a reason to go to Yavin? Or do we want to go to Korriban now? I don't know. That was just making me think, just staying on Kashyyyk. If I look at these, we've got Dust Still, that's Korriban. A few things for Kashyyyk. We could have a look in Yavin, see if there's anything there. Quest for the Starforge. I think there's only the one left, which is the one on Korriban. Yeah, we're going to have to go back to Tatooine at some point. Premium Merchant. on Korriban. So everything seems to be pointing to Korriban rather than Yavin. Korriban it probably is then, I think. Right, Juhani.
How can you possibly be Raven? The Jedi whose troops saved me on Taris. It was Raven, leading an army out to defeat the Mandalorians. It was you. I knew when I heard that you had become the Dark Lord of the Sith, that something was wrong with it. The man who saved me could never go completely to the dark side.
I regret any of the harm, all the harm I may have caused.
It is good to know that you have truly changed. It gives me hope. I do not think now that I will fall to the dark side. I only have to look at you and follow by your example, and there is no way I can fail.
Overconfidence can also lead to the dark side, I think. Yeah.
Yes, that is true. I suppose you would know better than I. I will never forget what you did for me, even if you do not remember it.
Yay!
Yes. What is it?
Anything else? Is something wrong?
I was remembering Taris.
I'm sorry, Juhani.
No, it's all right. I think I am over the worst of it. I apologize again for lashing out at you. It was not your fault. It was a horrible place to have to live. At least in the lower cities where the non-humans tended to get relegated. Living for years in a place with no sun, living off the trash dropped from the upper levels, and a meager pay doing back-breaking labor.
Ooh. How did you survive? And the rat ghouls. But that was the Undercity, wasn't it? In no sunset would be there. I don't remember seeing any of your race on Taris.
There were none. Bad enough to be a race that is feared and hated by humans, but to be one that is strange and different, even among non-humans? But living was hard enough, without the stigma of being from a lost race. There was always the danger of rat ghouls coming up from the sewers, or more mundane predators living and working in the area. My family and I struggled each and every day to make something of our lives. But we could only go so far. Taxes from the corrupt government, more fees from the gangs controlling the streets, and whatever was left paying for what food and medical supplies we could afford.
No one would help you?
And of course, there was the constant bigotry and hate from the more affluent and human citizens, lording their wealth over us living below. Every once in a while, a rich human would come down through the lower levels with his droid entourage just to see how the wildlife lived, and laughed at the mockeries that were our successes. But I have come to meet many decent humans in my travels since those days. Indeed, some of the greatest people I have ever met are human.
Like who?
The Jedi who encouraged me to join the Order. The one who was with the group going to fight the Mandalorians. She was human. I am sorry. I am getting away from my point. If there even was one. Sometimes I curse the day my parents fled to Taris. But then again, if they had not,
Oh dear. Alt tab again, I think.
not be where I am today.
Okay, don't know why I did that. From where?
Another story for another time. For now, we must continue our own epic. To save the galaxy, if we can.
If we can. You fill me with confidence, Johnny. You really do. Alright, well, let's see what Karth says. But it looks like we're going to be heading to... Oh, no. We've got... Wasn't Jolie in here? Where is it? Where is he? I thought he was in that room. Jolie? Jolie? Because I've not really spoken to him. I want to see if I can find him, and I can't remember where he lives. Oh, he lives down here, doesn't he? Ah, there we are.
Got something on your mind, dude?
Why did you decide to come with me?
You got yourself a fast little ship? I'd forgot what engine sounded like. The closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an Ulleran mating season. Oh, frightful.
So you wanted to ride on a ship?
Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of a synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing?
If you don't want to answer the question, just say so.
How impatient can one person be? You must have driven your mother mad. All that gurgling and fussing. Babies are cute, but annoying. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny, all of that. Breath like a panther.
Oh, is this a comment on my breath?
No, but it could be. An Anduvian salt tablet would clear that right up, you know. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. Andor Vex was his name. The force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was.
I've never heard of him.
No, you wouldn't have. Sometimes swirling force is just swirling force. It gets us old Jedis excited at our age, so we go, ooh, destiny. Well, it turned out that poor Andor believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall.
Is there supposed to be some kind of hidden meaning in that?
I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Andor, remember? Let's see. Oh yes, Andor's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andor's destiny couldn't be more boring.
How young are we talking?
Well, let's just say that I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, and Coruscant was a small town with a well. I was just about to abandon Andor to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians, but at the time, they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Krat. Tall fellow, big teeth. Krat has us hauled onto the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand.
How did you know?
Swirling force, remember? Jedi here. Granted, I was just interpreting the signs, but we get trained in that sort of thing, more or less. Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Krat decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed, too. This could have just been gurgling noises. Well, anyway. Finally, Krat has enough of Andor and tosses him aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing.
You're kidding.
Everyone panics, and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Krat dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recovered. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you?
And what does this have to do with you coming with me?
Well, hey, the chances may not be great, but when one has the opportunity to see something like that twice in a lifetime... Anyway, go on. My throat is dry and you're making me cranky. Shoot!
What? Okay. What does it say? Generally, we've talked a little bit past you may continue the conversation with them in the future, perhaps once you've gained some more experience. So once leveling has occurred... What? I don't know. Let's talk to Carp and he can be grumpy at me.
What do you need?
Do you want to talk?
Talk about what? The only thing I want to do right now is find Dustil. If he's alive, there's just nothing else I want to think about. I'll understand if we can't look for him right now, but if we could, it would be a huge load off my mind.
Okay. So I think I'm kind of upset he there wasn't a bit of a comment about Revan. But yes, I think next time we will be heading out to Korriban to deal with Dustil. Well, find Dustil. And find the next part of the star map for the Star Forge. Yes, that'll be next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.